Hello YouTube, this is Bub's Comics coming at you with a little project update that I've been working on. A couple of things I've been working on other than collecting comics, so which is still comic related, most of it. So the first thing I'll show off is, let me turn that down a little bit. Alright, first thing I'll show off is I've been working on this kind of a slab project. So I have all these Planet comics that I've been picking up, right? And I'm really excited about them, and I absolutely love them. So here's the latest one I picked up. Haven't even shown it off in a haul video yet. So there's Planet Comics 49. So the story with this is that I love these books, these Golden Age books. The problem is that I collect very low grade copies of them, and I don't really see the sense in sending them off to, say, CGC or even PGX or CBCS to get slabbed. And the main reason is because, although I do want to preserve them, they're also already so brittle and so old, and some of them are just basically stacks of paper that I could easily kind of just, you know, I could damage them a lot further, but I could also just kind of enjoy what's left of their life, right? Because they're probably not going anywhere beyond me. So I don't really know what to do with them, and it's so expensive to slab these books, especially the Golden Age books. They're the most expensive books to slab, other than like magazines and things of that nature. But these Golden Age books are high. A lot of people say, "Oh, send it to PGX. PGX is cheaper." Well, for Golden Age, PGS is at almost the same price as CGC. Now, of course, the difference is you're going to get your book back, you know, in a very fast time. You're going to get it back in a month without paying any extra. Whereas with CGC, you're going to pay a little bit more. It's close to the same amount before shipping, and depending on where you live. For me, shipping for a big order like that for like 10 or so books is going to be over $50. So, you know, the shipping can get you, but other than the shipping, they're pretty close in price. So that's kind of upsetting, you know, because you kind of want, if you're me, you kind of want PGX to come in really cheap, and, you know, or at least as low as their other tiers other than Golden. So like their modern tier. And the same thing goes for CGC. Their price is just more than I want to pay. Same thing goes for CBCS, which is the most expensive of the three. So, and also, if I don't do like the express, you know, fast turnaround time with CGC, then those books will stay with they'll stay with CGC for like 77 business days. I don't even know what that calculates into, but it's a long ass time. Like, I think you're gonna have it for like 4 months or more. I don't want any part of that. So I'm not real patient, and these are my favorite books in my collection, so I don't want to see them go. So I don't know who else would be interested in this, honestly. So what I've been working on, a little side project, is a way to kind of slab books, but still have them available to read, but still have the information. I personally don't care about the grades, because the grades don't. It's just somebody's opinion of the condition of the book, and it doesn't make me happier, more happy or less happy with the book because it has a certain grade on it. That's just not me. Some people, it means a lot. I know that, and that's cool, you know, because everybody who's collecting is collecting something very specific, and some people are 9/8 collectors of a certain book or a certain run of books, so all that makes sense. But for me, I'm kind of a low grade collector. I don't really care about the condition. I just want it to more or less be complete and enjoyable for me in that way. So anyway, long story short, I had picked up a comic skin slab, and so I did some custom work on it. So here's an example of what kind of where I'm going with this. And like I said, for right now it's just going to be for me, but I have kind of weaponized it. So it could be available very, very soon, like within a day or two, for other people if they're really interested in this, if they think it's something that's really cool. So here's what I've got. Here's Jungle Comics number 102. So you can see already that this is kind of a standard slab skin, right? Or a comic skin. And you know, with comic skins, you make your own labels, you put them in there. It's really quite easy. So here's what I've done. If you can see that. Tell you what, let's do this a little different. Hold on with me for just 1 second. Okay. So that probably makes it a little easier to see. So this is what I've got here. The slab skin there. And then I made my own little custom label. And you can see that right there it says Jungle Comics 102. Fiction House, June, I think it's 48. So June 48. I went ahead and included a little bit of info. Golden Age books are a little different. You know, they tend to have multiple stories in them, especially these types of anthology type books. They have tons of stories and tons of different types of content. So anyway, that's what this is. You know, so I put multiple stories, multiple artists. I wrote down everybody. I put on everybody that I knew of. I put a little Fiction House logo there. So, and that's what I would do for whoever the Golden Age publisher is. So put the Fiction House logo instead of where like naturally a grade would be or normally a grade would be. Instead, you got a nice cool logo there, which I like. I'm not branding this in any way, so I'm not like going to write BUB'S Comics across the top or trying to pretend like it's some big deal. This is just what I'm doing for my books. And I may make it available for other people who are interested. And then over here, I've got just the appearances that are there. And if you notice, there's kind of this gold foil here. And inside that foil is a QR code. So I don't expect everybody to be super techie with this stuff. But basically what a QR code is let me turn this back on. Okay, so basically what a QR code is a simple kind of scannable code that you'll be able to scan that, and it will give you a downloadable copy of the book, a downloadable digital copy of the book. So Golden Age books are not hindered by copyrights. So this is all open source material. That's why you see so many like reprints on eBay and stuff like that. People just throw up Golden Age books as reprints. They just basically photocopy books and sell them for 10 or 15 bucks. So it's not a bad little racket, I reckon. But the images of these pages are readily available. So not every book, not all the books, not every publisher even, especially some of the more obscure books or tougher to find books. But even for those, I own the book, so I can just scan it myself. I upload it kind of to a cloud, and then if you take any device that has a scanner or a picture with an app, a camera, and the right app, then you can scan this little code, and it'll give you a digital copy of the book to read on your tablet or phone or whatever you've got. So I quite like that. I recently took a trip, and I was on a plane for a while, so I read a lot of Golden Age books on my phone and just kind of pinch and zoom out to each panel and enjoy them that way. So I'm already kind of doing it myself, so I just thought it would be cool to have a nice little permanent link to some of those online in case I'm not there. So anyway, this is a project I'm working on. It's still obviously in its infancy. The label's like parchment paper, so I did kind of a slightly nicer, it's kind of tinted blue. I don't know if you can see it very well there, but that's what I got going on this little slab here. So this is probably what I'm going to do with all my Golden Age books. I also like that it's very thin. Because I don't have a ton of space, so being able to file these easily is kind of what I'm after. So this is probably the way that I'm going to go for all my Golden Age books. Price wise, I'd say it's probably going to run me somewhere around $15 to $16 a book to produce this. So that's not too bad. If I'm going to slab it, it's going to be more like $35 to $40 a book. And of course, if I don't send in big orders, then the price goes up from there. So if you're not sending in over 10 books, the price is going to be even higher. with most of those because of shipping. So there you go. So that's one project I'm working on. Already 10 minutes in, so we'll make the next couple of projects real fast. Another project I've been working on is transferring all my treasuries, look at this, whoa, into top loaders. So this is how I'm storing these. These top loaders are great. BCW makes them. There's a couple of other companies that make them, and they work great. So I already had bags and boards for these, and so now they're in top loaders because they were falling and they were flopping over. No box that I'm aware of that I would ever want to keep or display is going to be big enough to hold these. So having them like this is a real help. So here's one of them here, holiday special. Here's another one, Olympic Games. Look at that, pretty cool. Here's my Superman, Spider-Man battle. Superman versus the Amazing Spider-Man. Love that one. That's one of my favorites. And these top loaders are pretty nice and tight fits. I'm putting two backing boards, two life-size backing boards, and a life-size poly bag, because I don't know of any Mylars this big. I'm sure there are, but I'm not spending $10 for a bag for these. And then sliding them in the top loader, and they fit just about right. So there's my Superman. It's technically a limited collector's edition, but same difference to me. Here's my Star Wars. Number 2, I think. Yep, number 2. And you see, that's nice and sturdy, and you know, these things tend to be very flimsy. Not the top loaders, I'm talking about the books, tend to be very flimsy, and they just, I'm already buying them in low grade. I don't need to get a bunch of spine ticks to boot. So here you go, here's another Dick Tracy. This is my favorite Treasury in my collection. So let's see what else we got. We got Superman. Look at that. That is awesome. Superman the movie Treasury. Next we have one last little project I've been working on, and that is, if you can see behind me, if you know your arcade stuff, that's X-Men, the arcade game. So what's going on with that? I know it looks weird to have it like that, but what's going on with that is that that's my wife's treadmill. I guess you could say it's our treadmill, but that's my wife's treadmill. So normally it opens down, and there's nothing on the floor. There's like a foam pad on the floor, and that's it. So it opens down, and so what I did was, across the handlebars of the treadmill, I set up a board, right, that came from it's reclaimed from a drawer face, and I hooked up a wireless USB joystick. So a full arcade joystick. It's got 8 buttons, plus of course the stick. And I already had a nice TV set up, a flat screen set up for her when she does her running, that she has like the Peloton app, and it does all that. Okay, YouTube, let's take a look at what we got going on here. This is my little makeshift arcade. So this right here was my wife's treadmill, still is. So I say my wife's because I never, this is my exercise bike, and that's her treadmill. So that's how it works on that. So what I did is she had, when it's not in use, because she does her running in the mornings. So when it's not in use, it just kind of has these handlebars there. So I took an old drawer face, and I put some padding up under it and secured it. Hopefully you can see that. So I put some padding up under it, secured it, that way it doesn't slide. And that's that like no slip rolls that you can get like at the dollar store for $1. You get a roll of that no slip stuff, and that way it's really, really sturdy, but you can still pick it up if you want to. This is an 8-bit dough NES arcade station, like an arcade stick. So it's pretty cool. You turn it on. A little light comes on. And you can see that I have my game running here. So what this is like a little Android TV box. A lot of people use them for, whatever, watching movies and cable or whatever they got going on. And I have a little, that little red USB stick back there. That's my arcade stick. So I have all my games on there. And here's my game for this. So you can see here. I just insert coins here. And then, let's see, we can turn it up for you. So I have a remote, right, that I can use. Better hurry up, because I'm going to run 2 seconds. You knew I was going to pick that. So this is going to be a little throwback for anyone who grew up like I did playing this little arcade game as a kid. So, loved it. And I just wanted to I really want an arcade system. I was going to build a cabinet and do the whole routine with that, but I ended up not doing it because I don't have any room. And my wife kind of ixnayed putting one in the living room. So that's why we ended up doing this. So, of course, I'm going to try and play with one hand, so wish me luck. So, this will be the most epic game ever, one-handed. So, look at that. Bam! That's badass. So anyway, and it's a lot of fun. I've got a lot of games on here, tons of arcade games. But this is my favorite arcade game. So anyway, that's it. And you can come on here and play. You can add coins to it like you would. So I do that, or actually I do that. Says you want to exit, yes. And then I pick which game I want to play, and there's tons of. I got a few hundred here. Let's see. Everybody likes Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? So we'll play that. Does this little ROM check as if it was a new arcade game starting up. Winners don't use drugs, kids. Pizza power! Oh, that's badass. Look at that. Man, if you were a kid in the 80s, man, this is what it was all about right here, man. This is all I did. I would go get a slice of pizza at a pizza shop in the Bronx or Manhattan even, but usually the Bronx had the better arcade games. And so let's kick shell. Let's kick shell. I always liked Donatello because he had the best reach. So we'll skip all that. There we go. And we're playing Turtles. Look at that. It is not easy to play with one hand, everybody. Let's see if I can do the setup. Come on. Alright, so that's that one. And also, I don't know how you guys feel about some of these other games that I play, but we'll back all the way out here. Give me just a second. All right. So now we're back to the main system. And we'll play some Sega. My favorite system as a kid. So let's see. And I have every Sega game invented loaded onto here. So I don't know what you guys want to see me play. I won't play it for long, but let's say we'll go to what's a good Sega game? Well, of course, the X-Men games were amazing. And it looks like a bunch of stuff going on, but really it's quite simple. It says it has autosave, so do you want to start a new game? Yes, start a new game. I just take off the overlay because I don't need it. Obviously, because it's designed for mobile, so being able to play it on the Android box works pretty good. That's pretty cool. Man, I love that sound when I was a kid. Man, so much great X-Men theme music. Look at that. Magneto coming at you. Alright. We're not trying to be heroes today. And we'll do Gambit. You guys remember this. So anyway, I'll probably die a bunch on this. Because it's hard to play one-handed. Because I have to do a lot of running and jumping. It's really hard with one hand. But anyway, you guys get the idea. And so there's all that. And we'll do one more. We'll load up an NES game. I don't know if you can hear it, but it has all the clicks. I'm trying to put that close so you can hear it. So let's press start on it. And it can play Nintendo 64 games and all kinds of stuff. I haven't got all those hooked up yet. But this is, like I said, these are my projects. So hope y'all have enjoyed this. It's been a lot of fun for me. It always is. So, and I'll upload this sometime this weekend. So anyway, there you go. So I hope y'all like that. And this is kind of what I've been goofing off with. So that's my quick little look at all that goodness up there. Oh, also, I don't know if this will come through on the camera or not. So, but we'll give it a shot. I also been working on my LED work. So let's kick that light off. I don't know if you can see, obviously it's not very clear, but it's much more clear in person. But all those LEDs back there, you got that light there. So anyway, a lot of cool LED stuff. And that's it. So we're working on these treasuries and get this cleaned up so that they're all neat. And that's it. That's my quick little haul. Well, not haul. That's showing off my project. So got a lot going on. But I'm enjoying it. So just over here in my little nerd hole geeking out. So hope y'all enjoyed that. And if you got any questions on this, leave them in the comments, and I'll tell you where to get all that stuff and how to hook it up. Very cheap. This was like $60 for that, but it's wireless, Bluetooth. There's no wires at all. It's very responsive, very good. And 8BitDo makes several game console controllers that are absolutely fantastic. TV's a TV, and the box is a box. So I don't know, you got probably less than $150 in the whole setup, so, and it runs fantastic. So, well, I guess with the TV, maybe you got 200. So, all right, y'all. Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did, and we'll catch you next time on BUB'S Comics. Read a comic. Thanks. Bye.